Welcome in to the Joe Cali Show. A special edition here. A special edition. Special is quite the word. The Buffalo Bills have hired a head coach. Grant Udinski? No. Brian Daboll? No. Sean McDermott's back? No. Joe Brady. Joe Brady's the Bills head coach. I think the option that no one really was pushing for, like I really couldn't tell you who wanted it. I couldn't. But, I mean, I guess we're here. I guess this is where we live now. I guess the press conference was a shill for nothing because they talked about all the change they wanted, and it's an open search. And was it really? Nobody got a second interview. Nobody. They interviewed Joe Brady. They interviewed a bunch of other candidates, a lot of good names, and then they just picked Joe Brady. So it's not necessarily an open search, if you ask me. Was this what Josh Allen pushed for? I know they said he didn't have a role in the decision-making, but is this what Allen wanted? Is this Brandon Beane's decision? Is this Terry Pagula's? Like, who thought this was the great idea? It really is just an appendectomy for this team. Oh, your appendix is swollen. Sean McDermott, snip, and then there we go. We're rolling on as usual and hoping for the best. Like, I'm sorry. And you can come at me. You can tell me, oh, the defense was the issue in the playoff games. The offense was actually pretty good. Joe Brady did a pretty good job. Sure. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about that because it's an endless circle. You can point to things on any side of the spectrum here. I'm not going to do that. But to sit there and then, say something like, I'm okay with this. I'm genuinely, I know I'll get there. I know I'm going to be eventually rooting for the Bills because how could we not, right? New stadium and everything. But you made such a big change. You expected a big change. And they just promoted their offensive coordinator, a promote from within, once again, from Terry Pagula. Once again. That I don't think's the right decision here. I would have been happier with Brian Daboll, who's had head coaching experience. That entire press conference, as I mentioned, just seems like a front. The proverbial playoff wall that Terry Pagula mentions. Joe Brady was there for 3 or 4 years of it. What are we changing? Is he keeping Bobby Babbage on the staff? I hope not. Hope he's picking his own staff. But on the day of, this isn't really reading great. I'm not entirely sure what to expect. I'm not entirely sure how to react. I'm not entirely sure what they're thinking. Who asked for this? Who wanted this? Nobody in Buffalo. Did you see the reaction on social media? No, nobody wanted this. This was an absolute nightmare scenario for many, I would say. And I know people are coming to terms with it. Not a bad hire, they're going to say. I'm sorry that you could have done so much better, I think. And I get it. These other names are unproven. Grant Udinski, he's never coached. He's never been a head coach. He's only been an offensive coordinator. He hadn't called plays. Davis Webb, same thing. Joe Brady's called plays for you, so it's not a scheme shift. He knows what the culture was like and can try and keep a semblance of that, right? So I guess there are some upsides if you want to look at it that way. But for me, it's just so, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right. It doesn't. To move on from McDermott and just promote more of the same. Haven't we learned, Terry Pagula, about promoting from within? Have we not? Kevin Adams was a promotion from within. Ken Dorsey was a promotion from within. Joe Brady was too already. So he's just furthering his way up the ladder. Like, have we not learned our lesson here with promoting from within? Doesn't sound like we have. It doesn't. And like I said, I'm going to get there. I'm going to be rooting for them. I want the Bills to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to hope that Joe Brady knows what he's doing and is able to do something a little bit different and get the job done. But right now, on the face level of things, it's just not really giving that vibe. It's not. It's not. And I forgot to even do like an intro because I'm just steamed up. It's the Joe Cali Show. Welcome in. If you're still here, like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think on the coaching change? It just came as a total shock. A total shock. Grant Udinski's dad follows the Bills, right? I know that's a trail of breadcrumbs, literally. But I'm sitting here on social media as this is happening. And I just can't get off of the proverbial playoff wall. And they just promote from within someone who's been a part of said wall. Someone who's been a part of the wall. Like, what? In every comment. The offense didn't fail, though. The defense allowed 30 points each time. Sure, we can easily go to that. And I'm not saying that was good. I'm not saying the defense was good. But the offense also got a stop from the defense in overtime. In the most recent divisional round game. They got a stop from the defense in overtime. Would they do throw an interception? You can argue if it's a pick. It's a pick, okay? It was an interception. Last year, Jordan Phillips comes through with a stop for them. Gives the offense the ball against the Chiefs. Finally can get over the hump. They stall. James Cook's not to be found on the field. That whole fiasco. The year before, Tyler Bass misses wide right. It echoes once again through Highmark Stadium. The offense couldn't get a touchdown. Couldn't score. Couldn't do it. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I sit here and it's really tough for me to really just... They're pushing it's all on Sean McDermott really far with this. And I got to say, it doesn't read right for me. McDermott was at Josh Allen's wedding, and now all we're hearing about is how the relationship deteriorated into nothing. And there was tension between the two. I know I'm not on the inside of the organization. I know I'm not. But they're doing snow angels last season. This season, they're hugging each other, being goofy, right? McDermott's really outgoing, arguably his best season as a coach. And now's when you choose to do this and just promote the offensive coordinator. And this is going to be very reactionary. We're going to learn more about his staff. We're going to learn more about everything. And then I'm going to be able to really figure it out because there are already rumors of people he might be eyeing up and would make you feel better about said hire, right? But I think the worries about the offense this season, the screen passes, all of it, I think that's really weighing on the Bills Mafia here, the fan base, and people around the league watching. You had some big names out there. You even interviewed Phillip Rivers, for crying out loud, right? And to just settle on, not even interview for a second time any of these names like Udinski or any of those guys, Davis Webb, and just go right into Joe Brady. They clearly had their plan from the beginning. They did. There was no open search. There wasn't. They can tell you that all they want. And we got that report from a few months ago from Vic Carucci talking about a couple weeks ago, McDermott going in and mentioning to them why their team isn't winning a Super Bowl, this roster. Tension between Beane and McDermott all season about the roster. Beane asked if this is a championship roster. He says yes. McDermott says, I love these players. I love these guys on the roster. They don't do anything at the trade deadline. McDermott's not mincing words about that. Like, there was tension. There was. And I think egos got bruised. And it was just, we're going to move on to a possible, and I don't want to label Joe Brady as this because he might not be, but a yes man who's not going to give us that grief, our guy, and see what happens. Still the Carolina connection remains true. We're going to bring on, though, a friend of the program, my co-host on Sports Talk Saturday on WGR Sports Radio 550, Derek Kramer. Derek on the road right now, taking time out of his afternoon. We texted pretty soon after it happened, and you mentioned an emergency pod, Derek. Thanks for joining and joining mine because I already planned to do it today, no matter what, because I thought the coach was going to get hired tomorrow. But while you're jumping in here, Derek, base reaction, like what hit you when you saw Joe Brady is the head coach of the Bills? Was it a Mitch Morse-esque or Dawson Knox-esque? Is this a joke? Is this a prank? Or did you fully expect it?
Whoa, what's Dawson Knox getting hit with this for?
Right, he might not even be on the team anymore. I don't know. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, I'm just saying the tight end is catching strays for reasons I don't know right now. I don't know. That's a little tough. All right, so first of all, the other thing I want to say, you mentioned first reactions. The first reaction right now is this weather is buns.
That's for sure.
As if to try to help distract you for the pain that the Buffalo Bills are committing right now.
My first reaction was prying my phone out of drywall, just so you know. So.
Yeah, well, the weather's like, hang on. How can we make this more annoying?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to give it credit. Over the last, 6 days, the weather has been very annoying.
If anything, a precursor to this news. Mother Nature was telling us something.
Yeah, I guess. But, all right, initial reaction on this really is that I feel like I'm being gaslit.
Yeah.
And that more or less is my frustration with the move, is that it feels like the team is gaslighting the fan base and trying to tell everybody, no, it really was just one guy that was our problems. It makes sense why the word admirable was supposed to be used.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they're pinning it all on Sean McDermott, even though there have been talent deficiencies with this roster. There have been issues with usage of players, especially offensively with Joe Brady in terms of the boundary receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that you're ready. You in particular, I wonder how serious the prying phone out of drywall thing is, because we had a Sports Talk Saturday one time where you effectively put it all on the two people that are now the directors of leading the charge forward.
Yeah,
Brandon Beane and Joe Brady.
The prying the phone out of drywall was 100% right. I had to get some filler and spackle that on afterwards, but I can't tell you how upset I was. I genuinely can't, because
I can get a fair measure, because again, we did a show where you put it a lot, almost all of the percentages on Beane and Brady, and here they are.
Yep. And they're remaining in both of them promoted. Can you believe it? In all of this, both of them end up promoted. So I don't know. And this just seems like, the 5 weeks ago from Vic Carucci thing has been ringing in my brain a little bit. McDermott goes in allegedly, right? Because this is all a report. We don't know if it actually happened or not. He goes in, tells them this roster is not going to win a Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Egos are bruised. Right there, the decision was probably made. We need a guy who's not going to do this. We need a guy who's going to buy in. And who else but Mr. Bubble Screen himself, Joe Brady, on Everybody Eats, that would buy in. So they ended up just promoting from within. A mistake that's been made by Pagula many times before, and we just made it again, I think. But, what do you think about that? Are we Kevin Adams promote from within? Ken Dorsey promote from within? All of that.
So, do I think it's as bad as one of those? No. I think that Joe Brady, let's give him some credit here. The Denver game was kind of a masterclass.
It was his best game, I would say.
It was his best game. And if not for 5 turnovers, and no coordinator is going to call a play that demands a turnover, give the flowers where they're due. Joe Brady did a great job that day. And that should be noted. However, can I get away with saying that for the entire season? No. Matter of fact, even in some wins, it was very frustrating where the team would have these moments where they called the same play, or it was incredibly predictable, or I can state 4 other reasons that I would think of that I'd be discouraged about the fact that Brady is now getting a promotion.
Yeah.
And again, I think back to the Pittsburgh game because that's a win. And here you are hearing, yeah. So they just called the same play over and over again, and we couldn't stop it.
And you get after that game, you get the praise of the offensive line coach also for calling those runs, right?
And that man is not there anymore. Your run game coordinator and offensive line coach, Aaron Kramer, is not there anymore. He retired. All of a sudden, how good is the run game going to look?
It's going to look different, probably, right?
It's going to look different. So I guess for better or worse, Joe, a narrative is going to be proven or squashed this year, and it's going to be really quickly. And that narrative is, how much control did Sean McDermott really have?
Well, and I think that's misconceived already, like how people online are saying, oh, McDermott controlled the offense. I just don't think that's true.
Ready?
Don't.
Those people are going to have that tested really quickly.
Right.
That's the thing. For better or for worse, we're going to find out about that theory.
Mm-hmm. For better or for worse. That's definitely the right way to put it.
I mean, again, I'm not going to go ahead and say that Joe Brady's going to be an immediate failure here. I can't say that. I don't have the future
we don't know.
in front of me. What I do know is we are going to find out about that. And also what's going to happen here, fair or unfair, there's now a lot of pressure on Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's a tough scene because all the excuses are gone, right? Everybody would make the excuse for the head coach, the defense, blah, blah, blah. You've removed that from the equation, like I mentioned earlier, an appendectomy. Oh, your appendix is inflamed. Let's snip it and keep it moving, right? Like that's what they effectively did. The eyes are on Joe Brady and Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can't do it, I mean, it goes to him, right? The choker.
I even look at the optics. I look at the optics of the hire.
He's involved
because it was told by ownership that Josh Allen will be in on meetings and everything like that, and that he might have some not influence on it, but like he's going to be there for it and be a part of the process. And all of a sudden, it's the internal hire from the offensive coordinator that he brought. That
he was pushing to make the offensive coordinator also back in the day.
Elevation originally. So now it's Allen's boy, according to outside eyes.
Yeah, and exactly what we were worried about with Davis Webb, right? Like,
so now you've got a guy as the head coach who's Allen's guy, and nobody got a second interview. So was it Brady the whole time?
That's what I think. I think the whole press conference was a joke. I think the open search was a joke. All of that. I think they had him.
The narrative then turns into Josh Allen's shadow government.
Right. He's just he's Batman. He's just behind the scenes. You don't see him out front.
Yeah, that's not good for Allen and his reputation.
And maybe he made that point, right, in pushing to hire Brady. Maybe he knows it's going on him a little bit here, right? Like, and he's confident in it still. So I guess here's to hoping it works out. But this has been a PR nightmare, hasn't it?
Yeah, the last 10 days?
10 days, yeah.
Actually, hang on.
No, only 8 days. He got fired a week ago yesterday.
Well, I would say 10 days because then that extends to the playoff loss.
Yeah, sure. 10 days, yep.
Gross, right?
The
last 10 days have been an unmitigated disaster for the image of the Buffalo Bills. And they're trying to turn it into this one person made all of these mistakes and errors. It's his fault. That's what it looks like now from the team.
Yeah.
The coaching staff wanted to draft Keon Coleman.
Well, you know who was on that coaching staff?
Yeah. Anyway, here's our new coach, Joe Brady.
Who's on the coaching staff that wanted to draft Keon Coleman? And I guarantee you it's for blocking or something. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's just, it's a joke. And then in that same press conference, the proverbial playoff wall was mentioned. After first mentioning they fired the coach because of Josh Allen crying. Like, proverbial playoff wall, you're bringing in a guy who's been part of it for 4 years. 4. Like, that's where I don't get
the offensive coordinator.
3 of them, yes. In the last 3 years, also, the wide right offense couldn't score when they had the ball. The Chiefs game, they couldn't score. And they throw a pick in overtime after the defense gets a stop. right? The offense has kind of been, I get it, the defense shouldn't have maybe put you in those situations, and I know that's the argument to what I said, but the offense should, if you're all-world quarterback and you believe in everybody eats and you believe in the coordinator, that should be able to be figured out, right? And you brought him back and promoted him. So I don't know. If you had asked me 10 days ago, the night of the loss, my one friend actually called me, and I said, there's one guarantee I can tell you, and I think Brady and Babich are gone, McDermott's gone, and Bean might be. How wrong I was. How wrong I was from where we're currently at.
Well, it does sound like Babich may not be back as defensive coordinator. I think that's correct.
I think that's
the right
good.
Move.
Very good move.
But again, if you wanted to talk about playoff wall and how it hits like that, you start over with the coaching staff. You start anew.
I think that's the thing. We wanted a big change, and then they just, promote from within.
And that's where I say that it's gaslighting. You're gaslighting the Bills fans, and
they are on social media too. Have you seen it? That's our guy in all caps on like these captions and stuff, posting all his stats. And even people from outside of the market, Derek, I'm looking now. I honestly have nothing to say. They're saying on social media, Small's a Giants fan. Like all this, like it's just, I feel like they're the laughing stock of the NFL currently.
Yeah. Again, the past 10 days have not been kind. And it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds, whether it be from the game. We see 1 week later that same Denver defense frustrates the AFC champions to a point where it takes a bad Jarrett Stidham turnover to actually lose the game. And yeah, I don't know what else you do at that point other than you just look at everything and sigh heavily. Because what is Bills football without a lot of pain and annoyance?
Yeah.
But again, we don't know if it's going to fail or not. We don't know if it's going to succeed or not.
No, and
we don't know.
I've said I'll get to the point where I'm fully rooting for them again. Like this is going to wear off the shock and the frustration. I'm going to be trying to figure out
more.
What were you saying?
For me, it's turning into the yin yang of sports in Buffalo. The yin yang is shifting.
Yeah, we can't coexist. Can't coexist.
It is one team has to be up, the other team has to be down. I do wonder if that shift is happening. The Sabres, very healthily, one of the better teams in the NHL, but the Atlantic is so crazy that they're still not even close to guaranteed a playoff spot, which is ridiculous to me. NHL, fix your playoff format, please.
Yeah.
But they're playing well. That is the thing. They are doing well. They are a good team. It looks like it from the eye test. Analytically, they're a good team. But the year that they tried it's all the head coach's fault, they did worse considerably.
100%. 100%. And I think that's the worry.
Played 4 months of a season where they could not change anything.
That's my biggest concern. Everyone talks about Josh Allen's prime, how much time's left, the Super Bowl window for the Bills. If they go another year and they regress, it's a failure. This move needed to be made to win a Super Bowl. Anything short of that is an absolute failure. And it's a fireable offense for the general manager, in my book.
And if you fire the general manager, though...
You're firing the coach, and you're starting from scratch.
And that's exactly the problem. I think the Bills did this in a bit of a half measure. But at the same time, I do understand why you kept Brandon Beane. And the question is, quite frankly, this. Joe, would you trust Terry Pagula alone to make this hire?
No.
Thank you.
Not at all. Not at all.
That is how you understand why Brandon Beane stays. Or at least you can justify it. That's how I'm going to justify it. I don't trust Terry Pagula to make that hire. The last coaching hire he made was Rex Ryan.
Yeah, and he really pushed for that, didn't he? So yeah. Rex Ryan's pushing for Bill Belichick behind the scenes throughout the coaching search as well. So luckily that didn't happen. That could have been a lot worse, but yeah, it's a little bit of a head scratcher, and we're gonna talk more, whether it be on Sports Talk Saturday or wherever, just when the selections for defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator starts picking his staff. Maybe we start feeling better about this, right? How much of the play calling is he going to hang on to? Is he going to let his offensive coordinator take it? Like that kind of a thing. So we'll find out more. But
Yeah.
Derek, thank you for jumping on in a last-minute fashion here on the pod, and we'll talk soon.
Final words on this: if they hire Philip Rivers as the offense coordinator or quarterbacks coach, I'm all the way back.
Yeah, I am too. I think I'm more than all the way back. I'm driving
I
the
still
wagon.
love that.
I'm driving the
love
wagon in a circle. Yeah.
Well, I mean, do remember I was able to be first on that, at least on GR.
Yes. Yes.
To a point where I got you excited and you tried calling our show with like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I called. I'm in. I want it. I wanted it more than anything. So
Zach was terrified of me. I loved it.
Well, as a head
All
coach, it's a little bit, but yeah. So
yes,
we'll see what happens.
That would have been for the content machine.
That would have been, yeah. But we'll see what happens. It's kind of a turn and burn now. We'll see. We'll see what he does, and we'll be talking throughout. Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, no problem. Drive safe, and to everyone listening to this, drive safe. The weather is buns.
Yes, buns indeed. We'll talk soon.
All right, man.
That's been Derek Kramer joining me, my co-host on Sports Talk Saturday on WGR Sports Radio 550. He's also on the Extra Point Show with Zach Jones regularly. So you're going to hear a lot from us, whether it be on here, on another podcast, on WGR, anywhere. And we hope you like this episode. Let us know how you feel. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Is this the right move for the Bills? Did they make a mistake? It's a good question. It's a genuine question. And I guess we'll see where it goes. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Joe Cali Show. Thank you for watching. I'm Joe Cali. We'll talk soon. Have a good one. Stay safe in the winter weather, at least if you're in the Buffalo area.